So we've got here a standard laptop which is running Windows 7.1 7 Service Pack 1. It's only a Celeron, but it does have 3 GB on board, and we're going to give it a go at updating it to Windows 10. First things first, nothing's actually sprung up, so we're going to go to Windows Update, and we can see there's one important update. At the moment, this is showing those. Let's have an optional. Nothing there as well. Okay, so we'll give it another check for updates and just see what's going on. As you can see, this laptop's not been used for very long. Used for a while, well over a year. Memory went in this morning to actually try and do this. It's very slow, very cranky, but it does enough to run Windows 7 and particularly Windows 7.1. So we're just going to give this a check and see where we get to. One of the things that's always advisable, is to, if you have the opportunity, particularly with a laptop, is stick it into your router directly, so don't use wireless. So as you can see on this model, we've got a network cable going into it. Still checking for updates. You can see we're some minutes on, and checking for updates is still doing what it's doing. So what we're going to do, I've already typed in Windows 10 out and download, just to see if there's anything going on there I can go directly. And we'll have a look at the Microsoft site. It's becoming clear this installation on here is actually quite elderly, needs a lot of work doing to it. So actually putting on a new OS when there's nothing on here that you actually want to keep is probably a good way forward for the machine. But as you can see, it's really struggling with Windows 7. I hope clean installation might help. So we'll wait to see what the page does when it finally loads. We're going to abandon all plans of doing it the way I wanted to do it. So what I'm going to do instead on the Mac is I'm downloading Win 10 English 32-bit, which is going to take about 5 minutes. So we've burnt the DVD. We're just now waiting for the DVD to sort itself out, which it has done now. We're going to go run setup. But of course, this is quite a slow Windows 7 machine, so this might take a few extra seconds to sort itself out. Here we go. Yes, we do. Now it's gone away to sort itself out. Whilst it's doing that, we're just going to have a quick look at the information about the computer. So we can see it's an Intel Celeron 1.6. We can see it's got 3 gig of installed memory, 32-bit, and yeah, Windows is activated. It's fully genuine. Got no issues there whatsoever. And here we go, first look at the installation of Windows 10. And as usual, we kept waiting. What I'm going to do is go for a complete install. So it's going to be a completely fresh install. Everything that's on this laptop will be gone. We'll start right from afresh. Might have some driver difficulties and that sort of thing, but we won't know until we get there. But at least we've got another machine which is right next to it, which can sort out the problems if we do get some. So at this stage, whilst it's sorting itself out, we'll be back. Oh, and now we've got an issue here with something we tried to uninstall. Okay, that's fine, we can cancel that. It just shows you how upset this this machine has been. Right, we'll come back shortly. As we can see, we've started to prepare for the installation. This is going through quite slowly. It sort of went away and came back in the 40s. I mean, depending on the machine that you're using this, some obviously going to go faster. This is a very slow machine. This is one that's struggling with Windows 7. Could be because of other installations that have gone on. Download and install updates. We're not going to do that right now, actually. We're going to come back to that because we want a fresh start to this. But this has taken a good sort of 5 minutes or so to get this far. Again, I'm not necessarily blaming Windows 10 for these problems. I think that it's more a case of this machine. So the slower the machine, potentially the worse the installation is going to be. But what we're going to try and get to is what Windows 10 will give us at the end of this. So it's still getting a few things ready. Noise coming from the machine, particularly the CD drive, so we know that data's sort of being swapped onto the hard drive. Here we go, we've got the license terms. We're going to accept them and choose what to keep. So, oh okay, we've missed that one, making sure you're ready to install. And as it says, it will take a few minutes, which is fair enough. Excuse the movement of the screen. It's just I'm doing this on my phone, and from time to time I'm going to need to press the keyboard. So as it says, it'll take a few minutes. We'll come back shortly. Okay, so we've come back with ready to install. And it gives us two options here. Install Windows 10 Home, keep Windows settings, personal files and apps. I want to change what we're going to keep. And here we've got three options. Keep for personal files, apps and Windows settings. Keep personal files only, nothing. Everything will be deleted, including files, apps and settings. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of the lot. So we're going to go next. We're going back to making sure you're ready to install. And let's see what happens next. Again, we've got to take a few minutes on this one, so we probably will. Okay, making sure your PC has enough space. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Hard drive has got 100 meg in here. And again, it's giving you another choice, ready to install, install Windows 10, and not to keep anything. And at the bottom, the mouse is already there. It's on install, and that's what we're going to do. And here we go. Your PC will restart several times. This might take a while, so we'll be back throughout, just maybe pinpointing anything of interest. We've reached this stage now, which is a completely different screen to what we've seen before. Nice little sort of countdown circle in the middle. Bottom, it gives you copying files currently at 4%, then obviously installing features and drivers, configuring settings, and then basically it's just inviting you to sit back and relax and enjoy what's going on. Well, here we go on our first boot up, and we see for the first time the new look Windows icon, which probably doesn't show up very well, but it's sort of a light limey green colour, and this is our sort of first main reboot at about 30% through the installation. We go dark, and what happens next? Ooh, the anticipation. Oh, we go back to this again. And we go back to 30%. Well, we've reached about 75% of the installation, and at the moment we've got a black screen with the cursor in the middle. Nothing much is happening. There are drivers that I've loaded up though, because I can move things around. This is expected due to the age and so forth of the screen of the machine. And now we've gone black. Now, is that a reboot? It's a reboot. So I think that's our second full reboot. It should come up saying, do you want to do something with the CD DVD? Because I'm running this from a DVD downloaded from Microsoft, I don't need to. There you go, press any key to boot from CD or DVD. Don't need to because the installation is still live. We go back to our lovely Windows screen, and it's now showing us what we had some minutes before, which is an interesting one. Let's just hold and see what it does next. Hopefully it will go back to the installation screen where it did show 75% last time round. When we go back to black. Again, I've had no warning message or anything like that coming up. All I can sort of suggest is that some of these delays are because of the age of the screen of the machine. I keep wanting to say screen. The age of the machine. And yeah, we're back at 75%. At the bottom, you can see that copying files and installing features and drivers, they're both, well, not greyed out, but they're blued out. And we're now on to configuring settings, which at the moment is at 0%. So I would think we're now sort of within the last part of the installation. Here we go. First little bit of interaction. So we're going to change our home country region, United Kingdom, English United Kingdom, and our time zone is going to be down here somewhere, which is London, and we're going to go next. And there we go. Applying these settings. And we're going to check for updates. This is a good sort of spot to see if your drivers are installed correctly, be it wireless or the wired drivers. And we've got a lovely high now, and they're setting things up for us. And we're getting critical updates. Now this could be, well, hopefully it's nothing like Windows 8, which meant an all-night setup, and even then most of the time it failed. I would hope this would be for the things that are going, things that have caused problems from its release yesterday, that hot fixes have been released for, and general stuff like that. So we're going to wait for the critical updates to go through. I've got a feeling this is going to take a while, so we'll be back shortly. Just had another reboot, so we're just going to see what happens next on here. We had a very terse "we'll be back in a moment" message that came up. We go blank again. I don't know if going blank is part of this new system. And now we've got what we call a default user 0. Quite like that background. Again, we have a just a moment message as it sets up the user information. And obviously I would have thought with this being a brand new user it would have administrative rights already in there. Again, oh, here we go. So it's going to go straight to a Microsoft account and all that sort of thing. So we're just going to put all that information in there. We'll be right back. So we finally got in there with the account details. Give me a lot of please waiting at the moment. And just a moment. Using a pin, I don't know. We're going to skip this step for now. So that's a new one. Meet Cortana. So I think this is the Microsoft Siri rip-off, that sort of stuff. We're going to next on that one. No, I have to go up now. Okay, it took a while to go through. Again, back to page issues. And we're in. Updates are done. Going to set up your apps. Well, at the moment it's going to be whatever apps are supplied with Windows 10 Home. And again, we're being told it won't take long. Not a lot to say when it's doing stuff like this, because you never know when it's likely to actually finish the process. But it's been a long process. But at least the updates didn't take as long as Windows 8 had taken in the past. It does make me wonder if the engineering in Windows 10 sort of looks at the machine, looks at what's underneath it, and is a little bit more, ready to bend itself around the machine, as opposed to expecting the machine to actually do what Windows wants to do. I don't know until we start using it, and that'll be in a separate video. We'll come back when there's something else to report. Just got a message up saying let's start, and this is the first look at the new desktop screen for Windows 10. Automatically looking for the network. What I'll do is I'll come back, we'll put some data up on the screen as well about the length of time this has taken, all the other bits and bobs, and that is it. That is now a machine that has loaded up the desktop screen.